If you had to identify a couple of core strengths for you where you really play the best, what would you
Mhm.
say those strengths are?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, I really enjoy working with people who are interested in expanding their perspectives and learning how to be more expansive, more inclusive, really working across differences. So my strength is really highlighting that, is really asking the questions and creating the space where we can model that in the relationship. I listen deeply and certainly work to do that. And when I don't, I can reflect and catch up. In other words, learn in real time, even as I'm working with someone. For example, if I make a mistake or I miss something, I work with leaders to help make sense of what's really going on with themselves, with their teams, with the larger system. So I like to go deeper in certain analyses in ways that are actually applied and helpful. So there's a kind of interesting paradox there, right? It can sound abstract, but the idea is to make it as concrete as possible in the context of looking at nuances and complexities. So I, I I highlight these patterns and paradoxes or help the coachee find them. For example, a paradox might be you have to be both direct and compassionate. You
Yeah.
have to move fast and still bring people along. And so I work with them to turn those insights into practical, doable next steps. Like, okay, so now what are you going to do about that? How are you going to interact with this person in the next situation? It's really going back and forth between this broad pattern sense making and then diving into, okay, what does that mean? How do we do that? So I think the strength is that I think systemically and at the same time in the present moment. And I often say the unspoken and bring it to the forefront, and then so we can explore it and learn from it. And finally, I'm empathic. I like to think so and be supportive, and I love to learn, as I mentioned, and support my clients when they learn themselves and expand their perspectives. So I would say strategic thinking, empathy, clarity, and accountability.